Let's now talk about the science of change. Up until perhaps about 5-6 years ago, science, psychology, psychiatry was under the impression that you couldn't change your basic nature. If it was genetically inclined, it was going to happen. But recently, there have been numerous breakthroughs, biologically, and natural sciences, that show that that's not true. That we can change even our genetic structure, especially in the area of behavior, intelligence. Yes, you can. We've done it. And the methodology that we use is applying the 3 categories and their 13 principles of potential to whatever the issue is. But first, we take one of these simple assessments, or a number of these simple assessments. In this case, in particular, the DNA test profile. We find what those personality traits are, and then we apply the 13 principles to them in order to bring them out and make them into something different, something better. One of the people that I work with extensively is Dr. Myrna Watanabe, a noted geneticist. Let's hear from her what she has to say about this.
I've known Dr. Flower for decades. We've done, behavioral modification for years and years and years and years and years. It's a standard technique. You have somebody who's having a problem with their behavior in one way, shape, and form, and you want to figure out what that problem is, where it comes from, and how do you modify that behavior. There's got to be a way that it works. How does someone go from being completely negative? I just went through this with a student yesterday. Student sitting there, I'm asking her questions based on what her exam is going to be, and she's whispering the answers. And I hear some words, and I finally said to her, I'm hearing these words from you, but I can't hear what they are. But it sounds like parts of the words are what you're supposed to be saying. And she said, oh, teacher, she said, I have no confidence. I just don't have any confidence. And I wish you were in the classroom with me. I think you could have figured out pretty quickly what you do with her and say to her, but you're right, you know it. Your lack of confidence is what's destroying your ability to get from here, where you are in this very beginning science course, to there, where you want your career.
Lifting the restriction.
Right, and she needed to do that. But, what is the restriction? Wouldn't it be interesting biologically to figure out what the restriction is? Is it just the synapses aren't synapsing right? That they're just not sending out the correct neurotransmitters, or they're sending out negative blocking transmitters instead of positive ones? Or is it or is there an abnormality in the structure of her brain, or has she been beaten down so much? This is a young woman who probably comes from a fairly poor environment. All right, has she been? And she happens to be a minority. Has she been beaten down so much in her environment? Have her other teachers said to her, "You can't pass because you have too much melanin in your skin"? All right, so yeah, this woman needs a rocket to propel her out of this. And I wrote her an email last night, and I said, I know that you're going to be successful. I know it because I see it in your personality. And she wrote back to me and she said, thank you for believing in me. Now, is that going to make the difference? No, you probably would make the difference. But I wish we knew biologically to take these people who have potential. This is what you call it.
thank you for that informative discussion, Myrna. There is another area I want to tell you about that's been a recent discovery, actually just this year, about changing genetic traits and environmental profiles. And it's called emotional reality. And what science is discovering is that emotions play a very large part in creating our reality. Now, listen to what I just said. Let me repeat it. Emotions play a very large part in the actual creation of our reality. Now, how is that? And why is that? Well, emotional behavior, emotional intelligence, is one of the 13 principles. And it's not the only principle that can achieve this. Any one of the other 13 principles can achieve this. Now, you'll find that in my new book, The Biology of Potential. I have a whole section that deals with that. When you take the assessment, you will receive that book as one of the 4 that we're going to be giving you. And your assessment may very well show what's going on in that particular realm. Take a very simple assessment, any one of which you wish. In this particular case, the DNA profiling, and you will see change in your life. Do it.